Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. Today I'm going to focus on a question that was asked by someone who was curious about compass and straight edge constructions. In particular, this person wanted to know the origin of these constructions. And the question was asked on that site called stackmathexchange.com. Now, I'll read the question to you and also show you in this fifth part of my series called what you had to know but your ignorant teachers couldn't tell you, show you that how all these ill-formed notions and, in certain cases, incorrect notions with respect to axioms and postulates arose in the mainstream. So let's begin. Right. So this student or researcher or whatever asked this question. I'm interested in learning the origin of compass straight edge constructions. In particular, I'm interested in the historical interplay between Euclid's axioms of plane geometry and compass straight edge constructions. Were the axioms designed to formalize the process of using a compass and straight edge, or were the compass and straight edge created as tools with which to practice the operations allowed within Euclid's geometry? Neither, perhaps. Any information is much appreciated. Okay, so before I'll actually answer those questions, but I want you to see the answer that was given first. So the answer that was given is this: Euclid never uses the words straight edge and compass. Well, that's pretty obvious. And then it says his axioms include the idea that we can draw a circle of any known radius at any point. That's false. There are no axioms in Euclid's Elements, okay? And the circle is derived systematically and perfectly from the very first geometric object, which is the point, right? In any case, he says these axioms are purely mathematical in nature and can be given non-physical interpretations. Well, that's the non-physical interpretations. They're not interpretations, they're rather instantiations of the abstract concept. Okay, so a compass and a straight edge are actually tools that were used to illustrate these concepts. Well, imagine if every time you needed to talk about angles in a circle subtended on the same arc being equal, you had to say exactly what is a circle. In other words, a circle is actually a distance from a given center. It is a path. A circle is a path which, from any point on the path to a particular point called a center, the distance is the same. But it's more than that, because that could also describe a sphere or any complete path on the surface of a sphere. So now, in the most important work published in mathematics, which is my book on the single variable calculus, I actually derive all of these concepts from nothing. And this book, excuse me, and this particular chapter here is the beginning of understanding all of mathematics. So we begin with what is a point. And after we define what is a point, we go on to the notions of paths or distances. And we eventually we eventually stumble on the notion of direction, okay? So, for example, we can say a straight line describes a path between one point and another, such that direction remains unchanged. See, I didn't even use a straight edge or a compass to construct that path. Now, I could draw a straight line, but that's not what a straight line is. It's just a visualization or a reification of what it means for the shortest distance between 2 points, right? So, for example, I could take out my straight edge and just connect 2 points using the ruler or the straight edge. But what I've drawn is not a straight line. And I don't know how many people stumble on that concept. If you take a compass and you construct something that looks round and you call it a circle, that's not a circle. And that is not what Euclid or Greek mathematics is referring to when it refers to a circle. Okay. Likewise, when it refers to a straight line or a line, it doesn't refer to the actual physical object. It refers to a distance, okay? And a point refers to a location, which in its very primitive concept is only an idea. In a void universe, it's not possible to reify a point completely. It has to be done in stages. So we continue after we've derived a circle. And from the circle, we derive everything else, okay? We derive everything else, all the other requirements. For example, angles, then right angles, then parallel lines, everything, measure, everything is derived from here onwards using the circle, right? And and so, and the properties that arise from symmetry. And so nothing in here is subject to belief. So I want you to please take some time to study chapter 4 before you continue on, because chapter 4 also lays the foundations. It talks about the concepts of center, vertex, angle, magnitudes, arc ratios, everything. It all comes, and it's systematically derived, one on the other. So nothing is assumed. There are no axioms or postulates in mathematics, and constructions using compass and straight edge are merely visualizations of the real thing. In other words, the noumena that exist independently of the human mind or any other mind. Okay, so these concepts do not require physical matter or tools. They are perfect concepts, and they are called noumena. So chapter 4 will set the foundations for everything you need to know about mathematics. And after you've completed chapter 4, you will be ready to understand the next step in mathematics, which is obviously how we got numbers. So, in fact, you don't even need all the particular requirements to be in place, but it's a good thing to have them in place. For example, you can derive numbers only from the use of the first two requirements. That is, how to draw a straight line and the fact that you can extend it or shorten it indefinitely. Okay? So I hope I've given you some more things to think about. And the sooner you do this and you cover these chapters, the better prepared you will be to tackle the rest of mathematics. And I will once again try to put together a presentation that derives all of these requirements systematically, not missing out on anything, because what I'm really giving you here is just an overview. To be truthful, I need much more time to cover all of them in one video. So it would be nice if I could have an online live session or maybe give a lecture somewhere. But as you all know, I'm not well liked, and there is very little place for truth in mainstream academia. So that's pretty much what I wanted to point out. And in the next few series, I'll continue to elaborate more on these topics, and I hope you'll join me again soon in the near future. This is a New Calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. Goodbye.